was a crisp spring morning in 1948 when train 101 departed from San Juan del Rio, bound for Mexico City. Aboard were more than 100 passengers, workers, students, traders, families with children, settling into their wooden seats for the 6-hour ride to the capital. The steel locomotive hissed against the rails, the whistle shrieked once, and the train pulled away from the station at 7:43 a.m. The departure was routine. Train 101 made that journey every Thursday. And like every week, the station staff signed off the logbook and waved it goodbye, expecting its return the next day. But that train never arrived. It vanished somewhere between Querétaro and Mexico City. No crash was reported, no derailment, no survivors. And, most perplexing of all, no wreckage. At first, the authorities believed it had been a scheduling error, a mix-up. Perhaps it was delayed due to mechanical failure or a collapsed bridge. But by nightfall, when the train failed to appear on any rail line and no communication was received from the conductor, the company issued a statement. Train 101 is missing. Search parties were dispatched along every possible route the locomotive could have taken. For days, local police, military and railway inspectors combed the canyons, tunnels and hills that cradled the tracks. They found nothing. No carriages, no tracks disturbed, not even luggage tossed aside. The rails were clean, untouched. As rumours spread, fear took root. People began to talk, not of technical failures, but of something darker. In the towns of Polotitlan and Tepeji del Rio, elders recalled stories passed down from grandparents of a train that once disappeared into the fog and returned decades later, empty, rusted, and echoing with ghostly footsteps. A cursed track, they said, a tunnel that breathes and swallows, a railroad that sometimes chooses to take more than it gives. The Mexican National Railway issued a denial. No such train had been scheduled, they insisted. There were no logs, no tickets sold, no conductor assigned. The public record, somehow, had been erased. But the families knew what they had lost. Mothers cried for sons who never returned. Wives waited at stations with cold dinners and photographs clutched in trembling hands. Entire neighbourhoods bore witness to the passengers boarding that morning. It was not imagination, it was not myth. A man named Ernesto Gallardo, a telegraph operator stationed near Tequisquiapan, swore he saw the train pass at 9:17 a.m. But what he described made the case stranger. The train was moving slower than usual. The lights inside flickered like dying candles. He claimed the windows were darkened, almost black, and the silhouette of the engineer appeared motionless. He waved. The train didn't respond. When asked why he hadn't reported this earlier, Ernesto said he had. His telegraph was mysteriously cut moments after he sent the message. The line never resumed. Weeks turned to months. Investigations closed. The families received no compensation. Without official acknowledgement, there could be no claims. The incident became a stain on the official history of Mexican railways, so much so that it was quietly removed from annual reports and route archives. But the story refused to die. In the 1970s, a rail worker repairing a remote section near Ajusco Mountain claimed to have discovered rusted train cars, partially buried and overgrown with vines. When he returned with others the next day, the site was empty. The vegetation had not been disturbed. The ground showed no sign of machinery. Again, in 1985, during post-earthquake reconstructions, a crew clearing debris near a defunct railway line unearthed what appeared to be fragments of a locomotive chassis, warped and disfigured. It bore the faded imprint 101, but before further analysis could be done, the parts disappeared from the storage yard. The foreman who had signed off the find was transferred to another district the next week. No records remain. Whispers of the lost train continued into the modern era. In 1999, a group of hikers exploring an abandoned tunnel in the Sierra Gorda reported hearing what sounded like a train passing through, though the tracks had long been removed. Some described hearing voices, others a high-pitched whistle that echoed without origin. In 2007, a child in El Oro drew a picture at school. A black train with glowing red windows flying through the sky over mountains. When asked where he'd seen it, he simply answered, "My grandfather was on it." His family had lost a relative in 1948. They had never spoken of it. Paranormal investigators, folklorists, and historians have all taken an interest in the case of Train 101. Some call it a mass illusion, others a cover-up of catastrophic proportions, and a few believe something stranger happened, something outside the bounds of reason. The tale of the missing train has become a cautionary legend in central Mexico. Conductors won't speak of it aloud. Railway maps omit the old routes. And to this day, near the site where San Juan del Rio's old station once stood, locals leave candles by the tracks every March 18th, the anniversary of the disappearance. A cross stands there now, no plaque, no names, just a rusted rail spike hammered into the dirt. A silent memorial to the journey that never ended. And late at night, if you stand close enough, they say you can still hear the low rattle of wheels on empty tracks and the distant mournful whistle of Train 101.